All right, this makes it an even 200. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio apparently seriously considering a presidential run. It's not really 200. As you know, it's 188. Anyway, we've got Charlie Gasparino here. Is he serious about this?
199 people who can't beat Trump.
It's looking that way, the way this economy.
He is very serious. I've been talking to New York Dems all day. The way they're explaining it is this. He's term limited.
Right.
He doesn't really have, great job prospects coming out of this. I mean, what is he going to run for governor? I mean, I don't think he can do that. Probably can't win.
The New York governor isn't term limited, right?
No, it's not.
Started his third.
You can run as many times as you want. His father ran 3 terms, lost in his 4th term.
Right.
I think George Pataki ran 3 terms.
Same, exactly.
So he's got to put a help wanted sign on himself, and that's what's going on here.
What's not to stop it, though, right? He's looking at all these others running. He says, please, I might as well do it.
Well, I mean, if you are rational about that, you're saying, why would I do it? I mean, there are so many people that are like him in the race. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, go down the list. I mean, they're all like carbon copies.
But you could say, I'm the chief executive of the biggest city.
And he's not going to win. And, here's the thing. This is why it's pretty much of a cynical ploy on his part. Number one, he's not going to be able to raise the money. Just not. I mean, the others will suck the oxygen, the small donations.
Well, he's alienated all the financial players, right?
They hate him. They absolutely think he's a jerk.
That's a tough road to balance when you're running.
Yeah, if you're going to piss off both, I mean, you got no money. So the question is, do you think he makes the debates? Don't you have to get us? I think you have to get some sort of certain level
1 or
of
2%.
Yeah, he might not even make the debates. And so then again, why is he doing it? Again, he needs a job in 3 or 2 years when he's term limited out. This is a good sounding board. Think about it this way: you can keep your job as big time anchor and just float around Iowa and run for.
Well, it does economically. We were doing this the other day that you get bigger speech income,
right?
Book deals and the like. You might get a cabinet position if your party
Bernie Sanders wins.
Right. So
they have a lot in common. They both honeymooned in communist countries. I think Bernie Sanders I'm pretty sure Bernie Sanders honeymooned in Moscow. In Moscow.
That's right.
And Comrade Bill de Blasio, it was Cuba. Isn't that great? They could just think of all they could talk about.
There you go. But what are people saying about the crowded field? You were talking at the beginning there about the latest economic numbers, record low unemployment.
Right.
You could go back and forth on this, and the president should be running away with it, and he's not. But, it's clear that the economy is gaining some traction in voters'
Listen,
minds.
if you look at the polls on his handling of the economy, he does a lot better than his overall polls. I just think there's a noxiousness around Donald Trump that, aside from what I know about the guy, which I like the guy a lot, his Twitter personality and his personality turns off a lot of people. Now, the real question is, will you throw it all away for a 180 on a Bernie Sanders, on Elizabeth Warren, or some of these other people they got running? And that is the real question. And by the way,
unless this is Joe Biden, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the argument is someone of a more moderate bent,
right? And someone that doesn't kowtow to the left. It's going to be hard to get through the primary without kowtowing to the left, by the way, on economic issues. But that's kind of where we're talking about here. And it's interesting about Donald Trump, aside from the trade stuff. I mean, if he doesn't do crazy trade stuff, and by the way, this might be a pure negotiating stance today, and you saw the market trade-off.
Why do you think he did this, by the way?
I just think it's a negotiating stance. I think he thinks that if he
was getting impatient, restless, let's get him off the
Listen,
dime.
I saw some reports that somehow the Chinese are scared of him more now because Mueller's not around. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. They play a long game. I mean, I don't know
who's... A very long game.
And they're not scared of really anything. Listen, they have economic issues. We have economic issues. They're a huge trading partner. We kind of need them to sell certain things. We kind of like access to the markets. We can't let them take advantage of us.
Tariffs are something you and I pay, not governments.
That's the problem. And when you start going tit for tat with them on this stuff, I mean, it's one thing to go and crack down on intellectual property rights stealing. Right. It's another thing to go, hurt our farmers. And I think markets are reflecting that. But by the way, the markets aren't off that much. I think
no, they're not.
They think he's like all bluster and not a lot of. They think. I tell you, the markets think he's going to get a trade deal. Just so you know.
I think you're right about that.
And Kudlow is telling people he gets a trade deal. We're getting Dow 28,000, something like that.
But by the way, your argument that U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer is really calling the trade shots is proven true.
Yep.
Because he was the one who went against Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, Mick Mulvaney, Larry Kudlow, all of whom were saying, hey, this is coming together fast. And it was Lighthizer who was saying, no. So obviously his tough stance has the president's ear.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a reason why Lighthizer is still in there, and even more than that, and this is the tell. is Navarro. Why is Peter
Yeah,
Navarro,
yeah.
who's so isolated from Mnuchin and Larry Kudlow and the sort of economic brain trust of the administration, still in there? Because Trump likes him. He likes his stance on China. He likes the belligerency. The markets don't like it. And but now the question really becomes, Neil, is there a compromise that comes out of the two sides, the Kudlows and the Navarros, that is positive? And that could be true.
Well, they'll say there was a compromise.
Right, and maybe the markets will like it. Listen, anything but total trade war, markets might like that.
All right, by the way, excellent column over the weekend.
Thank you.
A very, very fair and balanced view of the president. For those who always say he's an ever-Trumper, he's a very fair and balanced Trumper. So can we use that?
I'm a sometimes Trumper.
No, there are a lot of adjectives I could throw your way, but I think of the fact that it was a very balanced column.
Thank you. By the way,
strengths and
I was at Milken. Manny, the security guard, said hello.
Oh, how is Manny?
He's a great guy.
Excellent.
He said he loves Kudlow.
You know, Ralph was shouting at me in my ear.
There are so many people that were talking you up. I was like,
I paid them. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, but I really urge you, if you can, go online and read a very fair and balanced portrayal of this president from a guy who doesn't have any agenda on the right or the left.